Our reading today is called Wonder Egg by John Rodell. I had been carrying hope in my pocket like it was a polished gemstone for years. Whenever trouble came, I'd squeeze hope tightly in my shaking hand, and I could feel it bump against my palm like a newborn heartbeat. That's how I knew I was safe. Recently, though, I somehow lost my hope. I have no idea if I put it down somewhere or if it slipped out while I was fumbling for my keys. Without being able to hold on to hope, I soon became lost myself. After a while of wandering in the wild on my own, I bumped into Hope, who looked so different. Hope was no longer a little gemstone that I could fit in my pants pocket. Hope was now a wide stream cutting through the woods. I thought I lost you, I admonished, you know what I mean? The river grabbed a couple rainbow trout and used them to smile at me. Lost me, the water babbled? That's impossible. Well, one minute I was holding on to you, and the next you were gone. I need to change form, Hope replied. Why? I asked. Because you've been carrying me for so long that I decided we should try something different. What's that? I thought I would take a turn carrying you for a bit. The river rose up around me and pulled me gently onto my back. I was floating. I didn't realize how exhausted I was until the river held me, and hope carried me, and hope carried me, and hope carried me. Now, whenever trouble comes, I just spread my arms open and let hope wrap me up in her slow water. I can still feel it pulse against me like a newborn heartbeat. That's how I know I'm safe again. I don't know where we are going. Hope and I still appear to be so lost, but at least we are together. Maybe we'll stay out here without a map for a while longer. Funny enough, I'm in no rush to get to our destination because it has been so long since I've felt held by anything. And now I think I could really start to get used to it.
I love that image from John Rodell. The idea that we don't have to carry hope around us or carry hope around, but that we can float on it, that we can let hope carry us. And our need for hope is real. We aren't overreacting to what's going on. We are absolutely in a time when hope is hard to find. Last week, journalist and podcaster Brian Rich reported on a Wall Street Journal poll that asked respondents, among other things, let me start that again. Responded a variety of questions, one of which articulates, as he put it, an opportunity so meaningful it will both dramatically change the future of the country and probably break the current political landscape as we know it. He said this survey found that 69% of Americans believe that the American dream, the idea that if you work hard you'll get ahead, no longer holds true and never did. The most painful part of this reality, he concludes, is that since they last asked this question a year ago, the number has increased by over 6 points, and that in just 6 months, this administration has broken the spirit of Americans. They have now redefined how they understand American history and the American dream. We're in a state of hopelessness. This poll also asked people to agree or disagree that people like me have a good chance of improving our standard of living. Now, over the course of the last 15 years that they've been asking these questions, that number hovered between 60 and 75% in the affirmative. even through the recession. But something broke between 2020 and 2022. Our belief in our own ability to get ahead is less than half it was, even in the Great Recession. It's hovering in the 22-23% mark now. Rich notes that the Obama administration gave us hope, both in messaging and actual improvements, and it kept that number high, but that hope has utterly cratered. It's a dark way to start the church year. Well, we know. The reality is it's hard there for families, for seniors, for children. It's hard for people of color, for the LGBTQ community, for immigrants. It's hard for farmers, factory workers, office workers. It's hard for people with medical issues, for folks with neurodivergencies, folks struggling with addictions. It's hard for the underemployed, for the people carrying student loan debt, for those without health insurance. And it's hard in our neighborhoods, driving through DC. It's scary in some of those neighborhoods. It's hard. It's hard. And it is zapping our capacity to do what we used to be able to do. I recently admitted to a colleague that I need more help than I used to for simple things. And I feel a little bit embarrassed by that because I've always been capable and organized and independent and energetic. I'm the person who's on top of things and I have it together, except I don't. And I haven't for a while. And while I started by saying to my colleague, I'm so exhausted, I realized that wasn't actually it. I then said, I just don't know if it's COVID, menopause, or fascism. To which my colleague replied, why not all three? But then said, we're all at limited capacity. Of course you need help. We all do. We are at a limited or changed capacity, and whether you have or had COVID or just aware enough of the world to feel this, what Germans call Weltschmerz, the world weariness, or you are in fact in menopause or perimenopause, we are all feeling it. Some of you who are on social media may even be noticing how posts and videos about the signs of ADHD, autism, or other neurodivergencies seem not just more frequent, but maybe leading you to wonder, am I neurodivergent too? With no previous diagnosis or need to wonder. And that's because our capacity has changed. It got zapped when our capacity to hold so much trauma and anxiety got drained. We humans aren't meant to be on high alert for more than short blasts, those blasts that helped our ancestors escape the tiger or climb right before the cliff, right? But we have been on high alert for more than 10 years now with no end in sight. No wonder our hope for a better future in this nation has also gotten zapped. And we're struggling to find hope, to hold on to it, to nurture it, and carry it with us. And that's just another thing we have to do. It's a lot. Yet when we come together, something changes. One person can't do it alone, but two can get a thing done, and a small group can encourage each other, a congregation can share the load, share the burdens, share the work, cheer each other on. And this is what I have learned about you in our first year together. There's a hole with cinder blocks outside. But we're like a flock of geese in V formation. So, what helps them fly is that they share the work. When a leader gets tired, that bird will go to the back and ride the backdraft. I don't even know if it's called backdraft, but ride that draft and get some rest while somebody else takes the lead. And then they shift again, so everyone leads and rests and works together. We might imagine if they understood hope that they float on hope as they fly south and then north again year after year. Carrying hope is hard because we do that alone. Floating on hope, well, that's what we do together when we trust one another, when we feel connected. And this religious community is a community of belonging, of trust, of connection, and hope. We have seen, obviously, we see physical manifestations of it. The construction and what Elevate Cedarhurst will bring, not the least of which is an elevator. We've seen a bunch of successes with small wins, and there are a bunch of things that are almost done that I think we're going to be able to do by our anniversary celebration. But we also see it in the idea that we're celebrating 40 years. That's no mean feat. And it's manifest in the ways in which you talk about this congregation, the ways you deepen your faith together, the ways in which you care for one another, and the way you hear and act on love's call in the world. Those things create a river of hope. We just can't do this alone. So if we are created by hope, the congregation itself is like a boat. Steady, sure, a vessel on which we can rest when our capacity is drained, a vessel on which we can nurture each other and sometimes row, and sometimes steer, and it floats on a river of hope. Unitarian Universalists have been enacting a water ceremony for, well, certainly as long as this congregation has existed. It was first shared at a women's convocation in 1985. People brought water from the places they were coming from, the corners of our lives, and blending them together. And this has long been a fixture of our Ingathering services, traditionally the first official service of the congregational year. For us today, the water ceremony is a symbol of the hope this community creates together. We might be a boat, but we float on our hope for justice and generosity and goodness and love. So if you haven't gotten your little vessel of water, let's go do that now. There's 2 pitchers and glasses back there. I encourage you to fill it no more than an inch or so. And if you already have your water, even better. And we'll take just a moment to, after you pour a glass, I want you to think about what gives you hope. What about this place brings you hope? Where do you find hope here? For those of you who are on Zoom, I invite you to have some water near you. What brings you hope when you come through our doors or when you sign on? Consider the people around you, the people who hold you when times are hard, the people who love you through the worst of it, the people who see you, who greet you, who connect with you. And think about the people who you have held and loved and seen and connected with and shared your hope with them. These people who, like you, know that hope is hard to find, yet still bring hope. Yes. Here's our hope. So, let us create a waterfall of hope. I invite you to pour your water into the vase. Hopefully there's enough that it will overflow and look really cool, and if not, that's all right. I invite you to come up and do that now. For those of you online, please continue to hold your vessel or drink it if you're thirsty, or perhaps water a plant.
This boat is steady, this boat is sure. When you're ready, climb aboard. When you're ready, grab an oar. This boat will carry us to the farthest shore. We all know hardship, we all know pain, but nothing ventured means nothing gained. Every rainbow needs the rain. You're not alone, try again. This boat is steady, this boat is sure. When you're ready, climb aboard. When you're ready, grab an oar. This boat will carry us to the farthest shore. Even if you've been tempest-tossed, even if you feel all is lost, you've heard the thunder roar, had a look at heaven's door. If you're sinking like a stone, this boat will carry you home. In this boat, there's nothing we can't do together, no matter the weather. No matter that the charts are dark, we will navigate by our stars. This boat is steady, this boat is sure. When you're ready, boat ready, grab and load. This boat will carry us to the farthest shore. This boat will carry us to the farthest shore.
This boat by Laura Zucker is the first of many songs we'll be sharing this year as we begin to explore the music in our new digital hymnal, Sing Out Love. So now I invite you to join me in a responsive reading by Victoria Weinstein so we can bless this water. Able to see that okay? I can't from here. Let us now bless this water and this community it represents. The waters are tranquil when we affirm the interconnectedness of people everywhere. We express our commitment to this community and to the earth in ways that call for beauty and generate strength. And when we minister to each other with compassion. May our waters be peaceful and our sailings smooth. The waters rush when we embrace our imagination and our creativity, our power to unveil our old ways of thinking and to create new vision. May we ride the waves with a sense of joy, freedom, and fun. The waters shine when we question and doubt, when we challenge ourselves to understand ourselves and the world around us. May our waters sparkle, inspire, and illuminate. And when the waters storm, with us our energy and loyalty to signify that we place ourselves, hearts, minds, and hands at the service of something larger than ourselves. May we be held and nourished in community through every condition. May we find hope in the journeying together, held as one people in the great element of love. So may it be. So may it be. I now invite